All right, so it's recorded. So guys, whoever wants to start, you can start sharing your screen if you want. It should be no problem. If you want an introduction, that's also fine.
Okay, so hi everyone. Sorry for all this, but let me quickly give you the brief of what we are going to demonstrate today. So as part of Deep Funding Round 1, we had taken on this task of automating the ML apps running on Hugging Face spaces and convert them automatically and publish them on the SNET marketplace. So we have, what we are going to demonstrate today is pick a, service running on Hugging Face, run through our tool and show you the sandbox that we create where one developer can actually test this out. And when they feel that, everything is working as they expect, with a push of a button, they can publish this service on the SNET. So we are trying to simplify the overall task. As you know, that most of this ML stuff is happening on the Hugging Face. So, they have the hosting, the ease of use of developers. So develop there. Once you feel that you have something that you want to monetize and publish to marketplaces, so SNET marketplace would be the destination that this tool will support. And Chiranjeev will kind of take us through a quick demonstration of this. Again, this is a proof of concept, and we are kind of applying for additional funding where we can make this a tool that's robust and can be used by the complete, whole community. So with that, let me turn over to Chiranjeev. Thank you.
Can I add a little bit to that, Parag, from
Sure.
my perspective?
Absolutely.
I'm really happy and very excited for this demonstration. I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but Parag from Zero to AI was awarded in round 1. So what they're showing us now is an important result of the funding allocated to this team in round 1. And what I also would like to add here is that onboarding and making onboarding of services easier is very, very important for the platform and for SingularityNET. So I'm really happy with the progress that Zero to AI is making here, and with the concept of making it very, very easy to create a model on Hugging Face, and there is a huge amount of models there, and just with a few simple steps, publishing it on the platform. So I think this might really be killer app, well, at least a very important tool for now and for the future for SingularityNET and for the platform. So thank you, and over to Chiranjeev.
Hi, I'll share my screen. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So as Parag mentioned, we're gonna use or refer to Hugging Face spaces. And right now, as this is a proof of concept, we're gonna keep our search limited to, there's some filter when we search for a model. So right now we are looking for the Gradio-based model. So as you can see, one of this, which is for image segmentation. And all we have to do is take this link, which is on the apps tab. So just take this link and head to our tool, which is built on Streamlit. Copy that and just give it a name that we want to publish with. So say, okay. And the wallet address right now can be any random text. We will add this functionality later, but this is supposed to be the developer's wallet address with which we're gonna do some transaction. But for now, we'll keep it some random text. So when we submit, it will do the translation. It will translate the Hugging Face spaces into a gRPC compliant code. So it will generate a proto file and a server file, a gRPC server file. And it will also set up a sandbox environment where we can, if everything works fine, we can test things out here. So just to validate that the translation was successful and everything is up and running. So we just give it a try. Okay. So this model is supposed to remove a background from any image. So I'm hoping that things are working in the background. So, yep. So it will take few seconds since it is running locally, and it will give us the output where it has removed the background. Okay. So moving on, like once we have validated that the translation was successful and all, we can go ahead and deploy. And the deploy process is again just a click of a button. So when we click on deploy and publish, so it will start a process and we can see the logs. And what it is doing right now is it is building a container, an image, with all the assets that we created when we translated the app from Hugging Face to the gRPC compliant, SNET compliant app. It is generating all the necessary files required to run SNET service. And inside this container, it will also start the service, start the SNET daemon, which is required for allowing SNET clients to interact, and it will do the publishing part too. So yes, with a click of a button, it will do all of this step. So this process is a bit lengthy process. It will take some time because it is right now, installing all the dependencies and dependencies required for the container and for the SNET and the model itself. So this will take some time. So we will keep it running. And before I move on, any questions so far?
I would have a few questions, but I don't know if we interview now or if we wait until the end.
Okay. I'm okay with any.
You said you virtualize it at the moment. Is it in Docker, or what type of virtualization do you use?
Yeah, this is Docker.
Okay. And how do you deploy it then? Because you need hardware. So where is it running now? Or where will it run once it's deployed?
So this is running on one of our instances, and we are again keeping it simple. So we are hosting each service per container as mentioned in the documentation, and each container will host its own SNET daemon and the single service.
So it's running on local machines on your side. It's not like on the cloud.
No, it is on the cloud. It is on one of the AWS instances.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today, Eric, it's kind of running with 0-EI's AWS organization. But down the line, for a developer, we would also provide a facility where, provided users, developers, AWS or any other, accounts and credentials, we are able to actually, submit it over there and make it run.
Okay. And the connection back to SNET, how does it work, this one? So is it, do you have like a server in your Docker which is connecting back into SingularityNET? How is it done?
I'm not sure if I understood that correctly, but so what we require to host this service or to allow SNET to know that this service exists on this location, So we have to run, we have to publish this metadata. We have to generate the metadata, and then we have to run this SNET daemon and expose the instance location or the app's location, right? So yeah, we are doing those steps whenever we deploy any service.
Okay. And maybe the last question for now. Did you put in place any payment system behind this, like because this is going to use processing power? Are you using the AGX token to pay for this?
So yeah, we are doing that, but I guess I mean we were facing some inconsistencies. So right now we are we have disabled the blockchain part, but yeah, the publish. I mean, we still require the transaction pieces in place, like for even just to publish the app, we need the transaction things in place. So you will see some transaction happening when we are publishing. Let me see. You can see.
Yeah, so I guess you might have answered my question before I came in. So, but I'll still ask because I already had that question before coming here. So I want to know this particular solution that we're using to actually put our applications on SNET and all that. Are we actually going to be deploying the model, or we are going to be deploying the application? I don't know if that has been answered before now, but that was like what I had in mind before coming in. I wanted to ask that question because those are two different things, right?
Yeah. So now I guess right now we are limiting it to the model, right? The application side, I think you are considering the DApp, right, with UI and everything, right? So no. So doing that. So we actually have our own application, Zero to AI, where what we do is we are hosting this SNET services there, so that user don't have to write DApp. They can use the Zero to AI. We will identify the inputs and outputs components, and we will just create a wrapper in front of this model. So, but no, short answer is no, we are not building the application. We are just deploying or translating the model.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Any other questions?
I can think of a question if we're still waiting. Under what organization are you publishing this service?
So this is under Zero to AI organization.
Okay. And is that so? If I would do this as a user, I would use your service to publish this. How would I monetize if this is published under the name of Zero to AI or under the organization of Zero to AI?
No, Jan, so going forward, right? So this is just a proof of concept that we would kind of provide all that flexibility where we would take input from the users in terms of organizations and other information. And we would kind of provide, developers would use this tool to publish under their own organizations and, their wallet and other mechanisms.
Yeah, okay. So that's all for the next step. Great. I'm already impressed, by the way. It looks very nice and sweet, even though it's not finished yet. I also gave you latest version of the completely revamped onboarding documentation. So yeah, make sure you read it and see if maybe that can help you in some way to go through the next steps here. And of course, we're also there to help you with this tool.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jan. So we're going to do a little bit like a cooking show, as some of this process takes a little longer. So we will kind of show you now the end result of a service that's published and how it can be consumed by, like a, app like Zero to AI platform, for example. So Chiranjeev?
Yes.
Yeah, but by the way, one remark, it may look like this takes a long time, but it's a lot faster than doing it manually through the publisher portal or whatever.
Absolutely. I mean, look, we are encapsulating all of this complexity of, the under the hood, stuff that takes place, right? So even hosting and other aspects, we are automating a lot of this stuff. So all as a developer you do is you go and focus on building your apps on Hugging Face, and the rest kind of leave it to Zero to AI.
So these are the existing services that we have published under Zero to AI organization. Just make sure. Okay. So we can utilize this services either by SNET CLI or Zero to AI app. Let's try one with the SNET CLI. Hope it's working, and it doesn't complain about insufficient funds or something. As you can see, it is taking some time, so it has reached out to the service, and okay, cool. So we got the output. So this is one of the service that we publish, which is sentiment analysis model. We passed an input like, this looks good, and it provided us output like, it analyzed and it says that this is a positive sentiment. So, so this is one way. Another way is to use our existing tool, which takes the SNET service and converts it into a REST full service, which can be consumed via REST calls instead of gRPC calls, and it can be onboarded on our Zero to AI platform. So I'll head over to a Zero to AI platform. So this is our app. We have this listed under SNET category. Okay. So we already have onboarded few. We'll just go over one such, which is background eraser. May take a while, but let's see. Okay, so this is now preparing the application. It will deploy, it will generate the wrapper and surface that app, a small app that will create a wrapper app. Okay. If you remember, so this sandbox environment is more or less same. Also, we see, if you notice this UI on the spaces, we have make sure that we persist that UI experience. Okay. Submit. Hopefully I don't get a 504 error, because sometimes it takes a while. But yeah, while it is happening, I guess that's about it. Any questions?
So is this the version that you just were creating, or is this a prepared version?
This was a pre-built one.
Okay.
So this background eraser is, so one of the listed
it had a different name. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one we cooked in this demo was named image segmentation. I think there was some issue while publishing, so it is not getting listed. But yeah, we were anticipating some inconsistency, so we already prepared one or a couple of. And yeah. I think there was some issue there. I think there was some issue with the response. So. Okay, that's it. Hope this run works. Any questions? Any other questions? Something is on the server side, so I'll have to check.
But I think the important part we really wanted to kind of convey is, a tool that can automate and, simplify some of the, complexities involved in this. So the standard workflow would be is the developer would go use the, the environment provided by Hugging Face, develop quickly, get feedback from the community, and when they feel that if this is something that I would like to monetize and broaden where it is available, the tool would kind of provide an easier way for you to onboard that already running service from Hugging Face to SNET. And all one has to do is basically kind of like attach the so this our tools automatically generate the UI and all that, but on the SNET side, for the marketing purpose and others, one can design the appropriate UI and kind of get approval and publish it. So we are looking for kind of feedback from the community in terms of the usability aspects of it. So our thinking is that if we make this process easy, this would enable a lot more services to come on board on the SNET. And we are looking for feedback, and we have applied for another, on the Deep Funding round 2, a proposal to kind of make this a complete working tool that can be leveraged by the community to accelerate this whole effort.
In which pools that you submit, Parag?
I believe this was pool B, I believe.
Yeah, I thought you had something in pool E and something in pool B, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. They were in two sides of, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So what I like, so it's a pity that this doesn't quite give the visual output that you expected. That's normal. That always happens in beta stuff during presentations. But what I really like about it is that AI developers are not always DevOps engineers, and you need some of that knowledge still at this stage of the platform to onboard your servers on the platform. And yeah, our main target audience are AI developers and not other engineers. So if we can make anything outside of AI development as easy as possible for the engineers, that would be great. And I think every AI developer should know how to create a model and how to onboard that on Hugging Face. But not every AI developer would know how to go from a model and deploy it properly on SingularityNET platform. We are, by the way, also ourselves working hard on simplifying that process in different ways. We'll look for any possible way to collaborate there, also, as you know, Parag. But I think this is already, when fully matured, a very great step, a very big step, making our platform much more accessible to a very large, potentially very large audience. So yeah, I'm really happy with this.
No, thank you, Jan. So, I mean, there are, multiple ways we want to kind of help the community. So it's in that same spirit of, make the tools available where, to kind of make their life easy, focus on what they are good at, and let the kind of automation software do the rest to kind of help them, bring services, more services, improved services to SNET.
Well, already, I have a completely different question.
Yes.
What about ownership? Can I just take any model from Hugging Face, created by anybody, and then start monetizing it by myself in the next iteration of your tooling?
Well, these are kind of, a lot of these are open source, right? We are, essentially, this is all open source available models people are using to develop, improve upon, and kind of, put it back to the community. Now, if you, as an AI developer, you can actually, add specific value that you think you made a, important value add. And then obviously you can take that, make it your own and monetize, right?
Yeah, okay. So you can build on top of what others made already. Or if you're just a smart person, then you can
build it from scratch.
Very well. Or if you're really smart, you make it from scratch.
Correct.
If you're smart, streetwise, then you will take whatever model you see and put it on the platform, and then put a lot of marketing and branding behind it, and then send a lot of people to the platform to actually use it. Because on Hugging Face, it's not yet on a usable version, but on our platform, it would be API based, and people could actually start using. Is that correct?
Correct, absolutely.
And
so that's
you make it really easy right now. I like that part as well, by also taking care of the hosting part. I understand that in the future that might also be configurable, and people will have options where they want to host it at your place or at their own location. But the option to make that completely transparent and unburden the user, the developer in this case, by that is really attractive.
Correct. So I think these are some of the things that sometimes come in the way of, making things accessible to wider audience, right? So we are currently focused more on the side of, tools that make it accessible to, wider audience to many places, right? So we can kind of, work toward other aspects, as we said, that we already have some plans where, if you choose, we can kind of, host it on your cloud accounts. If you choose, we can host it for you and, take that all the burden out of it, So I think, Jan, as far as the demo aspects, I think that's pretty much, I think, covers it. We kind of show the starting point, the steps involved, and the it resulting in a published service. We tried that with the SNET CLIs. We tried it to run it in our app. We had some demo guards not working in our favor, so we ran some glitch, but that is to be expected. But we are kind of more focused on the value add such a tool would provide and a support from the community, so we can kind of firm up some of this thing and make it available to a wider community.
Yeah. Maybe I can bring a little bit wider perspective to it still, because you didn't start by explaining your app. And not everybody watching this right now or afterwards when it's recorded might be familiar, might have seen earlier demos of you by your app. But the first thing that you are doing with your app is onboard services that are on the platform into your app. So people have a very accessible mobile application where they can very easily test that. And there's some other stuff around that as well, with ratings and whatever. And what is being done right now is that you take a model from Hugging Face, you allow it to be published on SingularityNET AI platform, and then it is onboarded on your own app, so that when you see the original model from Hugging Face in your app, it actually makes a round trip through SingularityNET platform, and meaning that there it's possible to make a monetization scheme there.
Exactly. So, as Zero to AI, we are kind of primarily focused on making this available through the mobile app. Because, as we go forward, right, it's the convenience aspects of it, having it where it's much easier to share with your family, friends, and a community, not only the app, but the creations of the app, right? You can post it to a WhatsApp, post it to another social group, and kind of, get this thing going, and put it in the hands of, anyone out there, right? It could be, grandpa, grandma. Nowadays, they are all very capable of using mobile phone and, running something simple and, doing, giving their own creativity and, create. So, we are working on some, additional cool stuff now that ChatGPT is out. So, looking forward to kind of demonstrate something in, coming months, where you can kind of create, talk to your mobile phone and create app on the fly.
Cool. Summarizing, it's all about removing thresholds for users to use the AI.
Yes, absolutely. Take that bar out. Yeah.
All right. All right. Great presentation. Well, not completely successful, but I really liked what I did see. So for any community members seeing this and that will hopefully very soon be able to vote, you can look them up on deepfunding.ai, for instance, Zero to AI team, and see if you like it. Make your own judgment, I would say.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all.
No more questions, anybody? All right. Thanks a lot, guys. And I will head off to another room, see if there's some other exciting stuff that I can still take a look at.